Nicki just rained curses on Beyonce and Megan after they ganged up to get her blackballed and sued over $5 million. This comes after it was reported that Roc Nation pulled some strings to get Nicki fired from hosting this year's VMAs and got her replaced with Megan just a few weeks before the show is set to air. As if that wasn't humiliating enough, they slapped her with a lawsuit the exact same day she was dropped from hosting the VMAs. And word on the street is Beyonce and the entire Roc Nation team were behind it. This is allegedly the start of a very strategic plan by Roc Nation to diminish Nicki's career and make Megan snatch up every deal that's supposed to go to Nicki. What's even crazier is that Nicki hinted at Roc Nation and Beyonce playing these dirty games to mess up her career last year, but everybody thought she was just ranting until recently when all this tea got spilled. Now, for those of y'all who aren't caught up on the silent beef between Nicki, Beyonce, and Roc Nation, y'all finna be shocked, cause it's been brewing in the background for a while now, and Nicki is finally putting it on blast. If y'all remember, earlier this year when Nicki was going at it with Megan, she dragged Roc Nation and Jay-Z into her rants and went off on them for paying millions of dollars to get rid of her so that they can push Megan to be the new face of female rap.
If that Roc Nation brunch got you feeling like you could talk about my family, and I have a 3-year-old innocent child, have had my home swatted twice with drawn. They magically, no one seemed to find the person.
She also put up a couple tweets where she name-dropped Jay-Z and the head of Roc Nation, Desiree Perez, for pumping money into Meg's career to destroy hers so that she can replace her. She said, "On the next song, I delve into all the people Des allegedly fired for unknown reasons. Other things as well. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her. Allegedly, she's willing to go broke to try to replace me. Fix it, Jesus. #Goodfoot." She also replied to a post that Roc Nation put up about Hiss, and she said, "Spending so much money, but she the little broke independent artist. Des, you gotta let it go, baby. The world knows she's ASS and can't rap. Stop effing trying to make fetch happen. #Bigfoot. I just put out a song with no promo, no video. It's already 2." People also realized that even before this whole feud with Megan, she had mentioned Jay-Z and Roc Nation trying to sabotage her when she went off on the popular hip-hop journalist Elliott Wilson for dragging her after she appeared in a live stream with Kai Cenat to promote her new album. She said, "Elliott, if you'd spit Jay-Z's D out for 1 second, you'd be able to be happy for the newcomers. Isn't that how y'all tried to tarnish my image? By saying I'm not welcoming new girls in? Did songs with all of them though. Why you not happy for a young black man like Kai? Tomorrow, B."
You know how many tweets I've seen you post disrespecting me, Idiot Wilson? All of y'all, for some reason, when y'all are around certain people, y'all feel that y'all have this power. Why? When y'all have an affiliation to Jay-Z in some sort of way, y'all be thinking that y'all can disrespect and violate.
Well, it turns out the reason why Nicki was so mad with Desiree Perez, Jay-Z, and Beyonce and the entire Roc Nation entity is because they've been putting in a ton of work to make Megan the new it girl in female rap and kick Nicki out the spot. Now, for those of y'all who may not know, Nicki hosted the VMAs in 2022 and 2023, and in those 2 years she hosted it, the viewership numbers went up by 37%. However, according to Nicki, some people in the industry, aka Roc Nation, were not very happy about the VMAs giving her a platform and making her the center of the show. In fact, Nicki revealed that she's received some pushback not to perform her song Red Ruby to Sleaze, which was a diss to Megan on the show, but she still went on to perform it anyway, and that just pissed Roc Nation off even more. What made it even worse was that Megan was in the building when Nicki performed the song, so this was humiliating for her, and Roc Nation did not like that very much. In fact, Nicki was petty enough to bring all of this up on the stage at the VMAs when she blatantly told the audience that people were making some calls to the execs to sabotage her, but she didn't care and was gonna perform her song regardless.
MTV is petrified because they got a couple calls yesterday and people were saying, what if Nicki says this and if Nicki says that? And it's okay, MTV, I can control myself. Because if you can't control yourself, you can't control anything around you, right? But you know who can't control themselves? Roman. Love who be the squeeze. Chun-Li. So I'll think about it.
Well, Roc Nation was not playing when they made them threats last year, because fast forward to this year, Nicki was set to host the VMAs again for a third year in a row, especially since this show was going to be held in her hometown of Queens, New York. But just a few weeks before the show, she was kicked out and all of a sudden replaced with Megan. What makes this even more messy is that the popular industry insider page, Keeping the Culture Alive on Twitter, told us that this was going to happen a week before Megan was even announced to host, which means there was definitely some back and forth going on between Nicki and Roc Nation over this, and Roc Nation ultimately won because they got Beyonce and Jay-Z on their side. In fact, according to Keeping the Culture Alive, Des Perez specifically told the VMAs that Beyonce will not be attending the show unless they kick Nicki out and replace her with Meg. They said, VMA debacle. Desiree Perez of Roc Nation MTV. She made sure it was known that if Nicki performed Red Ruby at the VMAs, there would be trouble. Remember, Nicki said in her opening monologue at the VMAs last year, phone calls were being made about her being the host of the show. Now, Des has asked the VMAs to allow Megan to host and perform this year's 2024 so that Nicki won't be the main attraction in her hometown of Queens, where the VMAs will be hosted this year. Beyonce is being used as leverage. Desiree has the power to make sure Beyonce don't show up if the demands for Megan are not met. However, ironic for some people this may be, a lot of trouble always leads back to Roc Nation. Nothing I said has allegedly on it. Oh, but it gets worse. Around the same time all this mess was going on, Nicki got slapped with a very nasty $5 million lawsuit by a fan called Tamir Peak, who claims that Nicki humiliated him when she was allegedly saying he was, quote, one sandwich short of a picnic. Tamir claims Nicki accused him of being a paid mole during her hate train era and inviting him to her hotel to embarrass him on live in front of 100,000 viewers. He also said that Nicki's husband, Kenneth Petty, attacked him at a Super Bowl party back in 2020, which he spoke to Nicki about in the DM, but she allegedly ain't even care. Now fast forward to a few months ago, Tamir claims that Nicki exposed him to all sorts of from her fans when she mentioned him on Stationhead, accusing him of being one sandwich short of a picnic, among other things, and labeling him as a stalker who allegedly impersonated members of her team in the past. Now, Nicki's lawyer flat out laughed at this case in a statement to TMZ, claiming all of this is just a shakedown for financial gain, and was quoted saying, Mr. Peak has been Nicki on all social media for years on end to no avail. And Nicki's lawyer is right behind there with some proof of Tamir allegedly stalking Nicki and even making some disturbing tweets, telling her to make an OnlyFans account for her son, who was just about 2 months old at the time. In a lot of his tweets, he also kept referring to Nicki's son as his nephew and talking about how he was gonna pull up to her house for a play date with him. This man clearly thought Nicki was his bestie or something. In fact, there's also a video of him pulling up to Nicki with some other barbs, and immediately Nicki recognized him. She confronted him about always having her name in his mouth.
Hold on, I see somebody here that been talking.
Who? Is this one?
Yes.
Oh,
What's the problem? Say what you got to say.
Say what you got to
You
say,
want
mama.
the camera, boo.
I be talking because I love you, and I try to keep it real with you.
If you love me, respect me.
Not only that, but Tamir also attended 15 different shows in Nicki's Pink Friday 2 tour and was even seen in a video standing outside of the arena with other barbs for hours, waiting for Nicki's car to drive out of the building. I mean, if that ain't stalker behavior, I don't really know what is. Now, the reason I'm even bringing all this up is because word on the street is, allegedly, Roc Nation is behind the BS. After people caught Roc Nation allegedly following that man on Instagram, it pissed a lot of people off because it became clear as day that Nicki wasn't just talking when she said there's a deliberate attack on her career from the industry. Some people even advised her to stop associating with her fans so much because it gives people like Roc Nation a chance to allegedly make up stories like this and drag her name through the mud. One person said, Nicki is too accessible. Some fans are crazy to the point that if you upset them, they will literally take it personally and want revenge. revenge. I honestly think that's what happened with Tamir. He wants revenge because he no longer has access to Nicki like how his friends do. Another person said, please tell me why Roc Nation is following that man that's suing her. I can't. Roc Nation should spend their money on Megan and the other artists instead of paying to get at Nicki Minaj. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Beyonce allowing Roc Nation to go after Nicki? And do y'all think Nicki's really being targeted? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.